You're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipak Shukurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. US asks Israel to stop shooting at UN peacekeepers in Lebanon. Israel acknowledges firing at immediate threat near UN position in Lebanon. United States expands sanctions on Iran's oil industry in response to October 1st missile attack. In sports, India to take on Bangladesh in the third and final T20 international match in Hyderabad looks to sweep the series clean as Men in Blue hold an unassailable 2-0 lead. And the festival of Vijay Dashmi being celebrated across India. Festival marks the end of Navaratri festival and commemorates the victory of good over evil. And on to the details now. US President Joe Biden said on Friday he's asking Israel to not hit UN peacekeepers in its conflict with Hezbollah. Biden's remarks came after Israeli forces early on Friday shelled an observation post belonging to UN interim force in Lebanon at its headquarters in southern Lebanon, wounding 2 peacekeepers from the Sri Lankan contingent. And the leaders of France, Italy and Spain have condemned unjustifiable Israeli attacks that have hit the UN peacekeeping force in Lebanon amid heightened conflict in the region. France, Italy and Spain, the largest European contributors to UNIFIL in terms of personnel, in a joint statement expressed outrage after several peacekeepers were hit at UNIFIL's main base in Naqoura.
It is unacceptable. It violates what was established by Resolution 1701 of the United Nations. The Italian government, as you know, has strongly protested with the Israeli authorities. On this issue, with France and Spain, we have also decided to make a common declaration.
Well, French President Emmanuel Macron on Friday condemned the deliberate targeting of UN peacekeepers by Israel. Addressing a summit of European and Mediterranean leaders in Cyprus, Macron said that it was absolutely unacceptable that Israeli forces were deliberately targeting the UN peacekeepers in Lebanon, stating that France will not tolerate such actions. He also said the only way to end wars in Lebanon and Gaza is by stopping export of weapons to Israel.
Finally discussing Lebanon alongside the Italian and Spanish prime ministers who, like France, are historical contributors to UNIFIL. I want to say here that the 700 French soldiers involved in this force are a sign of our unwavering support and of our desire to be committed to the security of both Israel and Lebanon. We condemn it. We will not tolerate it, and we will not tolerate it happening again.
And as Israel faced a chorus of condemnation from United Nations and Western allies, the IDF acknowledged firing at immediate threat near UN position in Lebanon and pledged to carry out a thorough review. It further said the IDF is in contact with UNIFIL for coordination purposes and will continue to do so. The IDF statement came after the UN mission said 2 of its peacekeepers were injured after explosions close to an observation tower at its Naqoura headquarters. It was the second incident of its kind reported by UNIFIL in 2 days after 2 other blue helmets were injured on Thursday, sparking global condemnation. And U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said on Friday he spoke with his Israeli counterpart, Yoav Gallant, to discuss Israel's operations in Lebanon. In a post on X following his call with Israeli Defense Minister, Austin said that he had urged his counterpart in Israel to ensure the safety of UNIFIL forces in Lebanon and coordinating efforts to pivot from military operations to a diplomatic pathway as soon as possible. The phone call came after the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon said on Thursday that its headquarters in the southern Lebanese city of Naqoura and 2 nearby sites had been struck by Israeli forces. And the United States on Friday expanded sanctions on Iran's oil industry in response to October 1st missile attack. The Treasury Department said it was going after Iran's so-called shadow fleet of ships involved in selling Iranian oil in circumvention of existing sanctions. It was designating 10 companies and 17 vessels as blocked property over their involvement in shipments of Iranian petroleum and petrochemical products, the statement added. The State Department also announced it was slapping sanctions on 6 other firms and 6 ships from knowingly engaging in a significant transaction for the purchase, acquisition, sale, transport or marketing of petroleum or petroleum products from Iran. The sanctions form part of the U.S. response to Iran's attack, in which it launched some 200 ballistic missiles against Israel. And U.S. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump intensified his anti-immigration stance at a rally in Colorado, advocating death penalty for migrants convicted of killing U.S. citizens.
We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States. We will close the border. We will stop the invasion of illegals into our country. We will defend our territory. We will not be conquered. We will not be conquered. And if they come back into our country, they will be told it is an automatic 10-year sentence in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer.
Well, the worsening situation in Bangladesh against the minorities has drawn the attention of the international community. Speaking exclusively to DD India correspondent Vishal Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, talks about the rise of the radical forces threatening democracy.
Minorities in Bangladesh are a worried lot, and why not? Because the situation is getting worse and worse day by day. And I have with me the former Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Veena Sikri, to talk about it. Let's talk to her. Ma'am, there are reports that the minorities are being forced to leave the country and the situation is very, very bad. What do you have to say on that?
Well, certainly after 5th of August, after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left Bangladesh, there has been a very strong attack on the minority communities of Bangladesh. And, on the Hindus, on the Buddhists and the Christians. And it has been violent. There have been rape, killing, abducting, burning. Properties have been taken over. Properties have been burnt and destroyed. And it has been a very traumatic time for all the minorities communities, because there's about 8% of the Bangladesh population of 170 million are the minorities, and certainly it's a very large number, and they want their rights. And India has taken up the question of the treatment of minorities in a very strong way. Our Prime Minister said in his message to Professor Mohammad Yunus, who is the chief advisor of the interim government, he spoke about the conditions of the minorities and hopes that they will improve. Our Prime Minister spoke about it from the ramparts of Red Fort on 15th August. He spoke to President Joe Biden about this. And with all this pressure, we saw that there is the rapes and the killings, they lessened, but there is now an economic attack on the livelihood of the minorities, and many teachers, school teachers who are the Hindus, have been forced to give up their jobs under duress. They are gheraoed by the Islamists, and then they're forced to give up their jobs. Similarly, professors in universities have been forced to resign their jobs. And so this is a matter of great worry, and right now we are in the midst of the Durga Puja celebrations, and for the Hindus in Bangladesh it is a very major celebration. It is the biggest celebration of the year, and they get together and with the hundreds of pandals, puja pandals all over Bangladesh. And there was an assurance from the chief advisor himself, no, we will protect all the pandals. At the same time, you found Jamaat-e-Islami is a different narrative altogether. On the one hand, they say, yes, we will protect the puja pandals. On the other hand, we saw 2 days ago that the Amir of the Jamaat-e-Islami, he has given a new constitution, a proposal for a new constitution, for constitutional reform, and in which there is no place for the minorities at all.
So there you heard the former High Commissioner. She is a worried lot, and even the international community are a worried lot, and mostly the minorities, which include the Hindu, Christians and the Buddhists, they are also quite worried about the situation. With cameraman Yogesh in Delhi, this is Vishal Baristo for DD India.
Well, residents of Florida and the southeastern United States are reeling from the devastating impact of Hurricane Milton barely 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene ravaged the state. Recovery efforts included power restoration, mud removal from waterlogged homes, and clearing the substantial debris left in the aftermath of Hurricanes Milton and Helene. Hillsborough County residents trapped in flooded homes were rescued after torrential waters and tornadoes inflicted devastating damage. And now let's take a look at other stories making news across the globe. Albania has opened 2 migrant reception centers as part of a deal with Italy to manage irregular migration to the EU. This is the first agreement where a non-EU country accepts migrants on behalf of an EU member, attracting attention from other nations. Albania is limited to hosting 3,000 migrants at a time under this arrangement. An oil tanker caught fire off the Baltic coast of northern Germany, with all 7 crew members safely evacuated. Rescue teams are working to extinguish the fire on the 73-meter tanker, which carries 640 tons of oil. Firefighting vessels and helicopters are on the scene battling the blaze. Hundreds marched in Ghana's capital, Accra, protesting unlicensed gold mining known locally as galamsey, which harms the environment and public health. The illegal mining surge follows a rise in global gold prices and has become a key election issue. The protests included a petition to the president urging a ban on the practice. The Japanese group Nihon Hadankyo, representing survivors of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, won the Nobel Peace Prize, inspiring the UN's nuclear disarmament efforts. The survivors, known as Hibakusha, have long fought for a nuclear-free world. As of March, Japan had over 106,000 atomic bomb survivors with an average age of 5.6 years. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Mysore-Darbhanga Express train collides with a train near Chennai. Rescue operations underway. "65-foot Ravan effigy set for the Dussehra celebration in Gujarat, Surat.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, the Mysuru-Darbhanga Bagmati Express collided with a stationary freight train near Chennai. Around 10 to 13 coaches were derailed. Several passengers were injured and have been taken to nearby hospitals, but no casualties reported. Rescue teams, including medical relief vans, Tamil Nadu Police and NDRF, were on site. Senior railway officials monitoring the incident. Rescue and restoration operations are underway. Also, the Chief Minister has directed hospitals to remain on standby for critically injured passengers. Train movement in the Chennai-Gudur section is suspended, with alternative arrangements being made for passengers. A new train has been prepared to transport them to Darbhanga and other destinations, along with free food and water. And DD India's Anbarasan Alango joins us from Tamil Nadu's Kevarapettal. Anbarasan, Mysore-Darbhanga Express train collides with the train near Chennai. What's the situation right now? What was the exact time when it collided?
We can see it from behind. The rescue operation in full swing. Yesterday, around 8:30 p.m., the tragic incident took place. The Mysuru-Darbhanga Express which took place around 8:30 p.m. yesterday. It's going towards Tiruvallur district, Kavarapete, where right now that railway station near the park station, that is a goods train that's already parked along with the station. This express is directly hit to that station. So the first 7 compartments are derailed. In that, around nearly 17 people are severely injured and they are taken to the various hospitals of Chennai, including Rajiv Gandhi General Hospital and also the local Ponneri Hospital. So the treatment is still underway. The NDRF, State Disaster Relief Force, including railway officials, they all are doing around yesterday night onwards until now they are doing their rescue work. And particularly the section, the Guduru Chennai section is a very important section because it connects the northern and also the eastern part of country towards the Chennai Central Station. So making normalcy on this track is very important. So other trains, particularly coming from Delhi, and various trains are diverted into Arakonam and also the Renigunda section. So this train continuously going to this section of railway track has been continuously going on the rescue and relief work. We can see behind it around 3 compartments are already taken away and they are put it sideline to the adjoining track. And we yet to see the normalcy again. And we yesterday talked with the Southern Railway General Manager R.N. Singh. He said that today afternoon itself, the entire stretch will be come under the normalcy. We can expect the railway track will be in normal. And also the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also make yesterday, there is an announcement and instructed the medical officials in the state to full commitment and ready to take any action if any severe injury patients come to the treatment. And also yesterday the Deputy CM also visited the passengers who all are admitted in the Rajiv Gandhi Hospital. So the full swing on rescue and relief work, the NDRF in very much involved in that. We can see it from the behind work itself. The railway line, particularly the Guduru Chennai, very much important line because it's connecting the major cities like Delhi and also the Kolkata. So making a normalcy on this. And as the report from till now, there is no casualty, fortunately. So we are yet to see the full any reports on that. And also nearly 17 people severely injured. So we need to see on.
All right, Anmarasan, thank you so much for all those details. And moving on, Air India Express flight, which reported a hydraulic failure shortly after takeoff from the Tiruchirappalli airport in Tamil Nadu, landed safely in Trichy. The Ministry of Civil Aviation confirmed that all 140 passengers on the Air India Express flight from Tiruchirappalli to Sharjah were safe after the plane landed at Tiruchirappalli airport on Friday evening. The aircraft, after experiencing a technical snag, circled for more than 2 hours before landing after encountered an issue with its landing gear. Later, an alternate aircraft had been arranged for the passengers. The cause of the snag to be duly investigated by the Air India authorities. Well, today, millions across India are celebrating Dussehra, a festival symbolizing the victory of good over evil. Dussehra, also known as Vijayadashmi, marks the end of the 9-day festival of Navaratri, during which people worship the goddess Durga. Here's a report.
सीते, अब बनवास की अवधि जल्द ही पूरी होने वाली है.
Dussehra, also known as Vijayadashmi, is a festival that marks the victory of good over evil, symbolized by the defeat of the demon king Ravana by Lord Ram.
याद रख, यदि मैं रघुवंशी हूँ, तो तेरा वंश मिटा दूंगा.
This day is not just a religious occasion but a celebration of triumph, resilience and unity across India, where different states bring their own vibrant flavors to this grand festival. In West Bengal, the festival takes the form of Durga Puja, where devotees celebrate Goddess Durga's victory over the demon Mahishasura. Elaborate pandals, traditional dance and soulful music fill the streets of Kolkata as people come together to worship the goddess with great devotion and rejoice in her triumph.
Eagerly wait for this festivity, and now that it's finally here, it's all about getting the feel of the new clothes, going to different pandals with our friends.
Heading south to Telangana, the Bathukamma festival is celebrated with colorful floral arrangements as a tribute to goddess Parvati.
Women sing and dance around these vibrant flower stacks, creating a community-driven celebration that reflects devotion and cultural pride, adding a beautiful floral touch to Dussehra. In Mysuru, Karnataka, Dussehra celebrations are marked by the grandeur of the Mysuru Dussehra. A grand procession featuring richly adorned elephants, tiger dancers and musicians fill the streets as the city comes alive to celebrate the royal heritage and cultural richness of the region. And in the northern state of Himachal, the Kullu Dussehra is renowned for its grand processions and traditional festivities. Here, deities from nearby villages are paraded with music and dance, culminating in a symbolic burning of the effigies of Ravana. These celebrations, though different in form, reflect a shared message of victory, devotion, and cultural unity, showcasing the rich diversity that defines our nation. The festival culminates with grand celebrations as effigies of the king Ravana, his brother Kumbhakarna and son Meghnad are burned, signifying the destruction of evil. Before the effigies are lit, a Ramlila is performed. This is a dramatic reenactment of Lord Ram's battle with Ravana, with actors bringing scenes from the Ramayana to life. Families gather and children watch in awe as they learn the significance of Dussehra and why it is celebrated. As the evening progresses, the main event begins. The effigies of Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Meghnad are set on fire. The crowd cheers and the towering figures burn, filling the sky with lights and smoke. The burning of Ravana symbolizes the end of evil and the triumph of virtue. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
Well, every year on Vijayadashmi, the effigies of Ravan, Kumbhakarna and Meghnad are burnt in several states, with people gathering in large numbers to witness it. A 65-feet Ravana effigy is ready to burn during the Dussehra celebrations in Western India's diamond city of Surat. The Dussehra is one of India's major festivals, which marks Lord Rama's victory over the demon king Ravan. And on to some business news now. US-based aerospace giant Boeing is slashing 17,000 jobs globally, delaying 777X jet deliveries by a year and reporting whopping $5 billion in third-quarter losses. The drastic measures come as Boeing struggles to contain costs amidst a month-long strike with 33,000 U.S. West Coast workers. The strike has halted production of 737 MAX, 767 and 777 jets. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg says the restructuring is necessary to align the company with its financial reality. And on to some sports news now. After securing comprehensive wins over Bangladesh in the first two T20s, India looks to sweep the series clean in Hyderabad. India has displayed their dominance in the series by winning the first T20 comfortably by 7 wickets and second T20 by a huge margin of 86 runs. The Surya Kumar-led side is expected to be unchanged for the final match of the series. On the other hand, Bangladesh would be looking to secure a consolation win after a poor performance in the T20 International Series as well as the Test series that preceded the T20 matches. And defending champions Australia thrashed Pakistan by 9 wickets to extend their winning streak to 14 in the Women's T20 World Cup on Friday. Spinner Ashley Gardner finished with figures of 4-21 in Dubai. As 6-time winners, Australia bundled out Pakistan for 82, the lowest team total in this edition. Skipper Eliza Haley hit 37 before retiring hurt as Australia romped home in 11 overs to stay unbeaten against Pakistan in the format. Pakistan's semi-final hopes have been seriously hit with their second loss in 3 matches. Australia next takes on India in a much-awaited clash on Sunday in Sharjah. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Vipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.